Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Come hug me a little bit.
Getting closer, getting closer.
Yay. So hi, everyone. Today we really wanted to address a really popular subject, how to reduce bloating. So if I know I used to be really bad at this. I would be bloating. I'd be feeling bloated as soon as I would eat something. It was just something that I struggled with a lot, and I will get into my own story a little bit later. But yeah, if you feel that, I don't know, you have a lot of water retention, you feel uncomfortable, and I feel like sometimes people will confuse the term bloated and feeling fat. Would you agree with that? I feel like I get that a lot from my client. They would come and say, "Oh my God, I feel fat today," and it's usually caused by bloating. So explain a little bit, what would be the symptoms or the pain of being bloated?
So let's take some symptoms aside. Let's say you're not about to have your period or no allergies. So that aside.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because those can kind of bring a little bit of bloating whether you want to or not. That's just a fact and we have to live with it. But some of the things that, the feeling of bloating isn't necessarily pleasant, and for some people can be painful. It can be very after a meal, and they feel pain and they feel bloating and pants are tight, and it can last up to a few hours or the entire day. Usually most people, it starts after the second meal and it gets worse through the day, typically. So some suggestions for that, I'd say, is to eat smaller meals and try to avoid long period of time without eating. Because ironically, I know could be the last thing you want to do, but not eating for 5 to 6 hours can actually bloat you more. So eating smaller meals every 2-3 hours will actually minimize the bloating, and your portions will be smaller too. Another fact I could say is how you eat. If you're very stressed, that's not going to help. And if you eat very fast, which means your chewing isn't going to be the best that it will be.
For me, that was a big one because I'm always busy on the go, and I feel like a lot of my bloating issue come from the fact that I'm a fast eater. I don't swallow. I don't. How do you say that in English? That you chew. Yeah, I don't chew enough. I just take big bite, swallow it, and just move on with my life. And seriously, I can see that being like a big problem for me.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you drink sometimes water with a straw, some people actually will get more air that way. Mm-hmm. If you can avoid drinking too much liquid during your meal, that will help as well, because when you drink, let's say, a lot of water with your meal, you may dilute what you normally have for your gastric acid and your stomach, so it will take longer to digest. So that can delay and kind of make you feel bloated more than usual. So if it's concentrated, I guess it'll digest faster that way. So to keep maybe more water in between the meals and between the snacks rather than at mealtime. You can drink a little bit, but not a whole lot. Brings me to the same thing to carbonated drinks or pop or things like that. Because there's a lot of fizz and gas, obviously that gas will go somewhere. Yeah. And it can linger there or further down, or you're going to burp it and stuff like that. So that is air and therefore gas. So that makes sense. Brings another point to sometimes in those carbonated drink, the sweetener that can be in there, or if it's in your protein powder drink, your BCCA or whatever else you're having. Yogurt actually could also have that. So you might want to look at what is the type of sweetener. And some people have a hard time digesting some of them, or some don't digest at all. So that can cause some bloating there.
Yeah, I think that was my number one issue. Actually, swallowing, eating too fast was a big one for me. But definitely sweetener. I don't know, I felt it's 0 calorie and I need to drink more water. So I would put sweetener, and I felt like I was really getting bloated and gassy, and I felt on top of it, it was really increasing my, my craving for more sweet. So it's a big no-no. Try to remove that from diet.
Yeah. Chewing gum. Yeah. Chewing gum mimics food, air, so there can be more bloating. So not chewing gum as much. I'd say to just move more. Try to avoid long periods of time sitting down. And the more you move, just walking around, take the stairs, or get to the gym if you can, that will help your gut to digest better. Your level of fiber, so fiber in vegetables and fruits. You can have too much fiber at once, so sitting down with a huge bowl of raw broccoli, that will probably bloat you.
Or cabbage.
The vegetables are good. Just spread them out more through the day, or have some vegetables that are lightly steamed and some that are raw, and so that way the consistency is not the same and it doesn't take too long for your body to digest them.
And I don't know if it's a fact or not. It's something that I realized that was a problem for me, and maybe you'll tell me that I'm completely wrong. But I felt like for a couple of years, for longest time actually, I was really strict with my diet. I was eating the same food all over. I would eat my broccoli, my chicken, my rice, and being really strict with my diet. And as soon as I would eat something that was not part of my diet, I felt like I was really bloating or uncomfortable. So would you say that is it true that maybe making some variety in my diet would help?
Yes, and you're so right. Some variety will help, because at the end of the day, your body needs a variety of things, and we can't survive on the same foods over and over. Again, I would be careful if you have an allergy, because some allergies can actually develop and you don't even know it. So when you get to reintroduce something you haven't eaten in a while and it bothers you on a repetitive time, you could maybe check just to make sure that there's no underlying problem there, or just work through it, and eventually your body will kind of regain whatever enzyme maybe it lost or something like that, and it will help in the digestive process. But again, chewing, starting with small quantity at a time, eating regularly, that'll help it.
And oh my god, I think I lost my thought. Completely forgot what I wanted to say.
I'll also add to that. Oh, did you get it back?
No, just talking all over.
I was going to say too. In some foods, the artificial color, artificial sweetener, the two of them can also be a little bit kind of bothersome.
Okay.
And an alcohol, of course, can cause a bit of bloating, because it's probably going to dehydrate you, or if there's a lot of sugar into them, so that could linger up to a day or two. Not just for the hours that it's consumed, it can linger a little bit. And of course, sodium, so your salt intake as well can alter the bloat.
I have a lot of clients that mention that, like gluten and dairy. I found those are the two that, I can't eat dairy, I can't eat gluten, they make me bloat. So what's your take on that?
It's true that some people have lost maybe enzymes to be able to digest it. In my experience and my personal opinion only, I do think that our source that we have of dairy now and gluten is very different than it used to be. So I think some people that may have, and I'm not talking about celiac or severe allergies, but for the people that just have a slight sensitivity, to maybe try organic product, so that there's no hormones or pesticide. Rule that out to begin with first. Or try even, you can find some bread that it's sprouted.
Yeah, the sprouted wheat have been like a lifesaver for me, because definitely if as soon as, even like the whole grain or whatever bread, I will feel uncomfortable with it. But if I get like a sprouted wheat type of bread, and I don't eat too much of it, because sometimes it's not, you know what I mean? Like
it's a quantity.
It's a quantity, and I feel that's maybe one of my problem, where I'll have a slice, and next thing you do I have the entire loaf. But if I just have like one slice of sprouted wheat, like I feel better about it.
And sprouted, it just simply means that the digestive process has started before you're chewing it, actually. So it means that your body's easier to absorb the nutrients. So basically has to work a little less hard into getting the same amount of nutrients, and that's usually why sprouted is amazing. You know, sprouted quinoa, the sprouted rice, the sprouted bread, sprouted wraps. So anytime you can get your hands on sprouted something, lentils, whatever, grab it. And it usually means that the calories are the same, but the nutrients is easier to absorb, and your digestive system usually will thank you for it.
Okay. And this probiotic would help someone that have like bloating issues?
Yes, it can, depending on, again, what's the underlying issue. However, with probiotic, immediately when you take them, you might actually feel bloating. That's kind of a normal thing. It's not a bad thing. So you might have to take them for it's good to cycle them, in my opinion. Again, my opinion as a dietitian, I think it's best to cycle them. So if you do take them for 2-3 weeks, you might notice a bit more bloating. Afterwards, it will help. It's just in the meantime, when you're rebuilding your gut flora, that's just normal reaction, but that's usually not a bad thing. So, but yes, it can help.
Okay. So in your resume, to do like straight to the point, what would be like your like tips? Like drinking more water?
Drink your water, eat smaller meals, take the time to chew whatever you have. Chew as much as you can. Avoid carbonated drinks, avoid alcohol and
sweeteners, artificial sweeteners.
No gum. And move. Get moving.
Get moving.
Avoid long periods of time sitting down. And
I think that's pretty much. And just be mindful of your diet. Like, take the time to understand what makes you bloated, or the period, or just what's going on in your life. People need to reconnect with their body a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, and stress is a very common thing.
Stress is a big one.
And sometimes we don't realize how stress can affect our gut. Because when we're not in the mood to eat, or we just do it because we have to, or it's a necessity, but unfortunately that's our very source of fuel. That's what we run on, and we have to do it many times a day. So we need to put a little thoughts into it. But again, if you meal prep a little bit organized and bring your lunch bag with you, no matter which situation you're in, you've got good fresh food with you, and eat that nice and slow. Take the time to chew, and at least reward your body, because your body goes through a lot in the course of a day. And you're only as, you can be very busy, but if you don't eat well, you're not going to sustain your health. If you don't have your health, you can get sick. If you're sick, you're no use to anybody. So
because I just have too many clients that comes and they're trying to remove like an entire group of food, or all dairy, all gluten. I'm just scale down a little bit and
just try first a couple of things before rolling things out. But if you suspect some allergies, then testing.
Because allergies are different.
Yes,
period are different. Allergies are different.
But let's say if it's just a situation where you suspect stress or lifestyle, those are the things I would try first, and hope for the best.
So if you have any comments, if you have questions, or maybe you want to add into what we just talked about how to reduce your bloating, please comment below, send us a message, or even you can join our 5-day challenge, Back on Track challenge. It's definitely all topic that we're talking over there, because it's annoying being bloated, and after like a summer of like binge drinking and eating chip and stuff, we need to get back on track. And that will, is that a question?
No, it's just a hi, Amy.
Thank you. You're so sweet. So have a wonderful day, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.